Hiya, Sydney. What's poppin'? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today I'm gonna be asking a question. What's your favorite scary movie? What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we are moving on from the Saw franchise onto the Scream franchise, and then after the Scream we're going on to Final Destination. That is my plan for Halloween film reviews. So for the next 6 days, I hope you all stick with me, stick around, and take a look at the next 7 Scream movies with me, because there's a 7th one coming out soon. I'm making a couple of Lego customs for the Scream franchise, and I'm also playing a couple of Dead by Daylight rounds with Scream over the next couple of days. So again, very Scream heavy Halloween this time round, but we are going back to the roots, back to the original. We're starting off with the first one with this film review. So without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say about this movie. So Scream 1, or officially titled Scream, came out in 1996, so about like 7 years before I was born. This is 7 years before my time. And it has a 1 hour and 51 minutes runtime, has a horror mystery vibe to it, and is a 7.4 out of 10 IMDb, a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 4.3 out of 5 on Amazon. You can watch this on Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, YouTube, and Google Play. When Sydney receives a mysterious phone call and finds that her friends are being killed, the suspects that the serial killer may be on the prowl, who is also linked to her mother's murder. So, how the story goes is with an opening kill, like always. We have an opening murder, pretty simple. The then murderer goes after Sidney Prescott, but unfortunately fails to do so because he's stopped, and then her boyfriend shows up miraculously from around the corner. Keep that in mind. We then continue, we go back to school, everyone's like, oh my god, no, the blonde girl dead, oh, how could she, that's so upsetting, and then they all start taking jokes about it. Very, very similar to nowadays times, where something tragic happens, jokes are instantly being made, memes are instantly being posted. Very similar to today's society, so you know what, I don't blame it. They're all making jokes, being like, I didn't kill anybody, you didn't kill anybody, maybe you're the killer, maybe I'm the killer, ooh, spooky. We then have a couple more Ghostface murders from this one friend group, and the friend group just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, one by one, and one of the nerds from the friend group is an absolute movie fiend, and he is the one which is basically saying, hey, if this is like a horror movie, they're going beat for beat for beat from horror movies. So the next time he's going to show up is when you go off alone. You can't say like you're going to come back, because you're not, and it's just simple horror movie procedure, simple horror movie standards. So, you know, there is a little bit of conflict between the characters, a little bit of more murder, people are getting stressed, people are getting worried, phone calls left, right, and center with Ghostface. Then we get to the final party, and everyone runs away. Gale Weathers shows up, reporting everything, sticking with Dewey, who's, the stupid police officer who can't put 2 and 2 together, and they all show up to this party, and they're all like, damn, where's Ghostface? And it turns out to be Sidney's boyfriend, and also Stu, because they wanted a little bit of fame, they wanted a little bit of money, and that's the whole reason why they were doing it. Just for fame and money, basically, which is the reasoning for all the killers in Scream. Not gonna lie, they're all very money hungry and very starshine deprived. So, they then reveal themselves to Sidney, and then they reveal their plan of like, oh, we were killing everybody, and then we're gonna pretend to kill each other, but so the police don't suspect that it's us. Sidney then kills them both, and that's how the movie ends. Honestly, I really enjoyed this movie. I loved the mystery, because this is my mum, I watched this with my mum first time around, and she was like, right, you gotta guess who the killer is. That is your job, that is your goal. So I was like, right, fucking bet, solid, let's get fucking into it. And I was sat there, I was and ahhing over Stu and Billy for the longest fucking time, because I'm like, well, it should be one of these two, but it's too obvious. And I'm like, I didn't know there was 2. I only thought there was 1. So I'm trying to think who it is. And I'm like, well, it can't be them because they were there when that happened. It can't be them because that was there when that happened. But it's like, they are giving off the biggest red flags. But then I'm feeling like, no, it can't, because there might be red herrings. So I was getting all up in my shit, and I was getting all confused as fuck. But
it was so good, and I loved that mystery, and I loved like not knowing who it is and trying to work it out, and that's what kind of made me fall in love with this franchise. Again, I did only watch the first two, and then I just stopped watching the franchise, so I watched the newest four recently. So that's insane. The fact that I gave up on it and came back to it, and you know what? It's fucking brilliant. I love this one. It is really fucking good. I'm gonna be honest. It is such a good movie, and if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. The story is pretty basic. I'm gonna be honest, generic slasher movie shit, where killer shows up out of the blue, is really quick, shows up and can do some really weird gymnastic teleporting type shit, just to be able to kill this one character who dies in a pretty gruesome way, being stabbed. And the Scream knife is, I do believe, a book 1,200 or like 1,200 hunting knife. I do believe that is what Ghostface does use, and it is a very clean looking knife. I have a couple of knives and they all look very cool. No, I'm not a Ghostface killer, but it does look really fucking cool. Billy Loomis is also hot. Just want to throw that straight out there. And I've seen a lot of edits for these guys over on TikTok, and again, the plot element and the mystery of it is like the whole reason why I enjoyed these movies. The characters aren't really that interesting. We don't get a whole lot of development for most of them. We have obviously the main four, which is Stu, Billy, Sidney, and Andy, I think he's called, and they're like the main four. They get the most development. They're the characters that we really get to know and get to deep dive into. Then there's also like Monica Geller or Gale Weathers with Dewey as well, who have this will they won't they love relationship going through this, but like Gale Weathers is a complete bitch. I'm not a huge fan of her. She's literally just doing this for herself. She doesn't give a fuck about the kids. She's just here to make a quick buck, to get a story, and to get out there, get her name out there, and become like internationally famous. The Ghostface mask does look quite shit in this one. I do believe it has a pretty decent upgrade in the next couple of movies, where it looks a lot better, a lot more defined, and a lot cleaner. And it's such an iconic mask as well. You see quite a few ghost faces hanging around at Halloween. It is such an iconic like Halloween movie, and it is just so good. Sidney Prescott again is one of the better protagonists in these horror movies. I think she's a better character than the main character from Halloween. I think she's a better character than the main character from Friday the 13th. I just think she's a better main character, has more to her, and is just a more well-rounded character with her development, her story, her reasoning, and she just isn't there to like scream and be like the just like the with these older movies there's obviously like a hot like main girl for a reason. And I feel like Sidney has a lot more to her character than just that. So for that, I greatly appreciate it, and it makes you connect to the character a lot more and just gives them more depth. Stu and Billy are such a good duo as well. Like, they are so good, but they have this like really eerie presence, but you can't really tell if they're joking or not half the time. But that's what gets you. It's like, oh, these two are like the main suspects. These two are very obviously the killers, but you feel like it's too obvious. You feel like you can't really predict that it's them because Ghostface shows up when they're there. Like, you see them both in a room with Ghostface. So it's like, oh, okay. And they also then coincidentally show up after Ghostface leaves as well. So it does leave that like, well, it's obviously you, but because of how close they are to the main characters and how friendly they are, it gives that sort of, why would they do this? What's the motive? It could be them, and this could all just be coincidence, but what's the motive? Like, why would they be doing this? And it all gets revealed in the end, very similar to Saw, and again, one of the main reasons why I like Saw is trying to work out the traps. I like thinking about it. The horror in this movie isn't scary at all. There's a few cheap jump scares, a lot of blood, a lot of gore, but that isn't that exciting. We've seen that shit tons before. We see it in Saw, we see it in Halloween, we see it in, like, Scream, Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, Babysitter, Prom Queen, Megan, Five Nights at Freddy's. We see this type of murder, we see this type of blood and gore, like, all the time. So it's just become boring, basic. It's all been done before. You cannot watch a horror movie and see a kill that's unique and hasn't been done before, because they've all been done before. Every kill from a horror movie has been done before, and I don't know, it kind of leaves you not being that excited about the murders and being excited about the kills, but this one still builds up that good tension with the good music. I don't think Scream has a good iconic soundtrack like some of the other movies do, but I think this one is still very good with the chase sequences, with the fight at the end, and that Scream voice and the "what's your favorite scary movie" is very, very iconic, and I do like it a lot. The Ghostface voice changer is very unique as well. Like, normally our main villains don't talk, but this one does, and I like that. And I'll get into that in a couple of different videos later on down the line when I think it becomes a lot more prominent. But in this one, it's something that we haven't seen before, so it does make Ghostface very unique, because unlike Jason and Freddy and who else? Not Freddy, Michael, I mean. And those masked killers, they don't normally talk. They're normally silent, so that adds to the tension and the mystery. But this, they talk to you. They have a conversation with you, which makes it 10 times scarier, because it kind of makes them like a prominent threat, and like they're aware and that they're smarter than you and that they've planned all this out. Whereas Freddy and Jason just kind of show up. Not Freddy, Michael and Jason just show up and give you a quick fucking shanking. But, you know, Ghostface plans all this out, and he's very creative with it and intelligent with it. But other than that, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I think this is a solid 9 out of 10. I really like the original, and I hope you all come back tomorrow where we do take a look at the second one out of the Scream franchise, and I'll see you all then. So I love you and leave you, and goodbye.